vast to climb. I got so high to fall so far, but I found heaven. This love swept low. My heart beating, my soul breaking. Come on, you sing. Why fortune lies beyond the stars. Those dazzling heights too vast to climb. I got so high to fall so far, but I found heaven. This love swept low. My heart beating, my soul breaking. Come on, you sing. Why fortune lies beyond the stars. Those dazzling heights too vast to climb. I got so high to fall so far, but I found heaven. This love swept low. My heart beating, my soul breaking. Come on, you sing. What fortune lies beyond the stars? Those dazzling heights too vast to climb. I got so high to fall so far, but I found heaven. This love swept through my heart beating, my soul breaking. Come on, you sing.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Love by Design. Yes, welcome. And it would also be, good to know that I'm not alone on set today. I actually have some viewers in person, right? And it's just going to make the whole experience even more fun, even more engaging. So you're in for a ride. But before I proceed, I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Pastor Amarachi, and I'm your host for today. All right. So, thank you guys so much. God knows we need the energy today. All right. So, you could be anywhere else right now, but you're here. It's a Saturday morning. You could be eating bread and akara. You could be laying on your bed watching TV. You could be binging your favorite series. You could be at an Owambe party. You could be at the makeup artist right now, but you're here. So, welcome. And we're happy to have you here with us. And since you're here, let's make the most of your time here today. So what does that mean? Make sure that you're active. Do not listen passively. Get your notebooks, sit down, be ready, because I promise you are about to have an amazing time together. All right. If you were here on Sunday, you will know what I'm talking about. Last Sunday, we had the relationship hangout, and my God, it was amazing. We had so many questions, so many people, and then we just said, you know what, guys, we have to do this again. And with all the unanswered questions we just have to do this again. People have so many questions. People have things that are really touching the core of their hearts, things that deeply trouble them, things that concern them. People are on the verge of making the wrong decisions, right? And so realizing all of this just made us decide to have this conference one more time. So if you're here and you know anybody that was at the hangout or that even wasn't at the hangout, but they need to be here today, that friend that you have been trying to give advice since, but it's like the person doesn't want to listen, just send the person the link to join in. It's fine. Don't tell them anything. Just say, oh, I think you should join in for today's session. Don't talk too much. They say, what's that thing they say about people that give advice? Oh, you're the person that tried to come in between them and their partner. Let me just respect myself since I'm the monkey that tried to come in between you and your partner. So here's the thing. Just send them the link and say, oh, I think you would really benefit from this. Or, oh, I think, it's going to be something interesting. Just join in. No shades. Let them join in for today's session. And, if you need this here right now, you're going through a difficult time in your relationship, or you're going through a difficult time as a single person, I'll hold your hand when I say this. Stay tuned. Do not leave. you need today's session. And I promise it's going to be great, right? Now, there's this stereotype that it's a church program. Maybe they're just going to be talking about boring stuff. I promise it's not going to be boring. Okay, so get your notepads, like I said, because you're going to learn a lot today. You're going to unlearn a lot today. You're going to see things from a different perspective. Questions are going to be answered. And here's what I have to say to you before I finally leave. Make sure you have your questions written down. Ask your questions in the comment section as well. Engage. There's so much you're going to learn today. Don't be afraid to ask the questions that you want to ask. You can ask anonymously. If you have anyone who invited you for the relationship hangout, you can send them a message. Send them your questions. Send it in the live chat if you're comfortable. But do not hold back from asking your questions. You want to be as vulnerable as possible because only then can you get the help that you require. All right? So one last thing before I go. Please like. Okay, so that so many young people out there can see this show and tune in. Okay, they can see the program live and they can tune in. So like aggressively, comment aggressively, so that YouTube can recommend this to people outside and they can join in. All right, so on that note, I'll be handing over to the next person to come up. So please know that we're about to have a great time. And we're about to be serenaded, okay? Like I said, it's a love thing. So just know that we're gonna serenade you. So even if you're single, just sit down, wrap yourself with your blanket, and get ready for an amazing time. All right, I'll be bringing up Minister Manny.
Hi everyone, how y'all doing this morning? How y'all doing? It's Love Redefined Day, and we just want to sing some songs to redefine love for us. It gives a good perspective to what love is, because you understand that if you don't understand what love is, you cannot be able to love others the right way. And so just want to worship God and help us understand love. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Nothing can separate us from your love. Yeah, my life is hid in Christ in God. The life which I now live, I live by the faith of the Son. It took my sin and guilt once and for all. My past mistakes and flaws, oh yes, it nailed on the cross. So forever I will sing hallelujah. And because he lives, I live eternally. Nothing can separate me from the love. You got to understand that this morning. Say, nothing can separate me from the love of God. Forever and ever, I'm joined to him. Forever and ever, joined. Say, nothing can separate, nothing can separate from the love of God. Oh, from the love of God, from the love of God. Forever and ever and ever, I'm joined to him. Oh, and ever joined. Everybody sing, oh, oh. Come on, I feel so much in love this morning. Oh, 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 oh. See, oh, oh, Somebody say nothing and nothing can separate me from the love of God. Say nothing, 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 nothing from the love of God. Forever, forever, I'm joined to Him. Oh, I'm forever and ever. Now we'll sing this song in the revival. It says, you love me forever. You love me forever. You love me forever, Lord. Because love starts with understanding that He loves us. You love me forever. You love me, yeah, for you. You love, 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 you love. Yeah, 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 yeah. You love me, you love me, you love me, yeah. You love me forever. You love me, love me, love me. Oh, you love me forever, Lord. Oh, you love me forever. You love forever. You love me forever. You love me forever. Yeah. Now we take it back to Him and say, I love you forever, Jesus. I love forever. I love you forever. I love you forever, Lord. I love you. I love you. I love you. I'm empowered to love. Come on, love comes from an empowerment. I'm empowered to love Him. Come on, I'm empowered to love. Oh, I'm empowered to love Him. I'm empowered to love Him. I'm empowered to love Him. I'm empowered to love. All the days of my life I am empowered. 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 Cause I know that you love me, Jesus. Cause I know that you love me, Jesus. And because you love me, I will love others the same way. Cause I know that you love me, I will love others the same way. Oh, you're forever and ever in love with me. You're forever and ever. Come on, sing it this morning. In love. Come on, I just want you to enter into a love relationship with God this morning. Oh, maybe you feel unloved wherever you are. Maybe you feel like people don't love you as much as they want to. Just sing this morning. Sing yourself into a love walk with God. You're in love. You're forever forever, you're forever, you're forever and ever in love. One more time, you're forever, you're forever. Now the song that says, it says, no shadow you will light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me. Oh, no wall you won't kick down. Woo, you'll tear down, coming after. Oh, no shadow you will light up, mountain you won't climb up. Oh, coming up. Oh, no wall you won't kick down, lie you won't tear down. Oh, come on, you know that his love is not bobo. No shadow you will light up, mountain you won't climb up. Oh, no wall you won't kick down, lie you won't tear down, coming after me. Oh, no shadow you won't light up, mountain you won't climb up, coming after me, coming after me. No wall you won't kick down. Oh, oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. Oh, it chases me down, fights till I'm found, leaves the 99. I couldn't earn it. I don't. You give yourself away. Still you give yourself. And oh, never ending, a reckless love of God. Now listen to this. I'm forever in your love. Forever in your love. I'm forever in your love. Forever in your love. Forever. Oh, I'm forever in your love. Forever in your. Oh, nothing can take me away. Oh, I'm forever in your love. Woo. Listen, it says, hey, when I sleep, when I wake, if I walk, if I run, oh God, I'm in your love. There's no place I can go to be far from your reach, oh God, I'm in your love. Oh, when I sleep, when I wake, if I walk, if I run, oh God, I'm in your love. There's no place I can go to be far from your reach, oh God. I'm in your love. I'm forever in your love. I'm forever in your love, oh God. I'm forever in your love, oh God. You're forever in his love. You're forever in his love. Oh, we are forever in his love, oh God. There's no heartbreak in his love. There's no pain in his love. There's no sickness in his love. There's no lies in his love. There's no pain in his love, oh God. There's no lies in his love. And I'm forever in your love. I'm forever in your love. I'm forever in your love. I'm forever in it. Come on, say it. There's no pain in your love. Come on. There's no pain in. There's no pain. There's no pain in your. There's no pain. There's no lies in your love. There's no lies in your. Lies in your love. Lies in your. There's no lies. I'm forever, forever in your. I'm forever in your love. I'm forever in your love, oh God. I'll be forever in your love. I'll be forever in your love, oh God. For the rest of my days, forever in your love, oh God. Oh, I'll be forever in your love, oh God. All of my days, all of my life, forever in your love, forever in your love. All of my days, all of my life, I'm forever in your love. I'm forever in your say. All of my days, all of my life, I'm forever in your love. I'm forever in all of my days, all of my life, ever in your love, ever in your love. All of my days, all of my life, I'm forever in your, ever in your love. All of my days, all of my life, forever in your love. Listen to this one. Oh, and when he finds me, that's when your man finds you. And when she sees me, when your woman sees you. Oh, and when he finds me, when that man finds you, not Jesus or that man, and when she sees me, come on, they will meet me forever in your love. They will meet me in God's love. Oh, they'll meet me forever in your love. Oh, and we will love God together. We will love God together. We will love God together. Everybody, we will love. Everybody say we will love. We will love God together. We will love God. Because it is sweet to love God. We will love God. We will love God together. We will love God together. We are not children. We will love God. We will love God. We will love God together. Hey, we will love God together. Oh, you know, there's a pillow beside me. I just feel like hugging my pillow right now. Find a pillow beside you. I will love God together. Me and my future wife, we will love God together. If a man is beside you, don't hug a fellow man. We will love God together. Find a pillow. We will love God together. We will love God together. We will serve God together. We will see God together. Our children will see God together with us. My kids will see God together with us. Your twins will see God together with you. Receive it. We will see God together. We will see God together. We will love God together. We will love God together. We will love God together. For everyone experiencing some form of heartbreak in the house, I just want to sing this song for you right now. If you're experiencing heartbreak and you don't know how to deal with it, it looks as if it's overwhelming you, I just want to sing this song. You wipe away all tears, mend the broken heart. You're the answer to it all, Jesus. You wipe away my tears, you mend my broken heart. You're the answer to it all, Jesus. Way make, miracle work, pride keeps his promises. Is a light in the darkness, my God, that is. Oh, is the way maker, way make, is a mirror. One more time. That is who you are, way maker, is a miracle work, promise key, is a light in the darkness. If you know that is who it is, come on, just celebrate God in the house this morning. Come on, just bask in his love. Enjoy his love right now. Thank you so much.
Legacy. Before we dare to define it, let us first strip away what it is not. It is not the cold stone of monuments, nor the fleeting thrill of isolated moments. It is not found in the scales of achievement, nor the hollow mirrors of self-aggrandizement. It is never defined by a title, by power, or by wealth. Legacy is not fame. It is a song that cannot be measured by the volume of applause. So, what is it? Legacy is the quiet, sacred shift from seeking to be the hero to stepping back to become the hero maker. It is the patient art of raising others up. It is measured not in trophies but in hearts touched, not in kingdoms built but in lives transformed. Legacy is a current too deep for mere words, far much more than what can ever be defined. But if you look closely, we can show you.
You're doing. And like this month, your broken rating is low. What's happening? Because I can see that. What's happening? You need to step it up this week.
The trajectory of your life, being a part of this movement, has already changed your life forever. Thank you, Father, because we will leave here totally changed and transformed. In the mighty name of Jesus, we will leave this class with tools in our hands, knowing exactly what to do next.
I've heard many people ask me, why are you so restless? Where did you get this passion from? Where did you get this energy from? You know, I've heard people say that, you know, the definition of meeting is RD. And how do you keep going from one thing to another thing to another thing? Don't you get tired? I mean, that's a song I hear all the time. And, sometimes it looks like people say you need to rest. And yes, I do need to rest. And I do rest, as much as I can. But you see, there's a fire inside of me. There's a restlessness, like there's still more.
Reverend Dr. Arifalo and I have been on this journey of purpose and, making impact in the lives of people through the ministry of Jesus Christ for a few years. I'll say a few years now, even though it's been several years as well. And it's been an exciting journey of pouring ourselves into the work of ministry, seeing people raised, the same things, over time, seeing lives raised, lives transformed, and people positioned in destiny and in purpose. And that's what we've always done over the years. And I think it's a great opportunity to emphasize what Reverend Dr. has done over the years, and our passion for God, our desire to just keep on moving things forward. When she goes to pray like that and comes back, she always comes with a bunch of blockbuster ideas, like we call them, and transformational ideas of starting an organization, this organization or that organization. Now, the Missions Interns program that started in 2025 has been one of such initiatives, which is just truly, truly amazing, where we were raising young people in the work of ministry, raising people to, to come to a place of knowledge, a place of establishment in God's purpose and God's will, and just so exciting, just really, really exciting to see those young people catching the fire of the Holy Ghost at such a young age, growing in the Lord, getting involved in the work of ministry, the passion, the energy, it's just really amazing. RD, of course, caught that vision and then shared the vision with all of us. And we all caught on and we said, oh, let's do this and let's make a difference in our world. Let's make a difference in our generation. And it's early days, really. When I think about it, it's early days. And many, many years ahead, we're going to see the impact of Missions Interns program and the people that will be raised. The ministry gift, more importantly, we're not just raising people to go and just do anything. We're raising them for the work of ministry. We're raising them to become pastors, to become leaders, to become difference makers, so to speak. And it's truly exciting, to be able to be part of this whole program. And I'm thankful to God for that.
I remember when we decided it's time, let the Missions Internship School roll, right? We didn't have the money, we didn't know where to go. And I remember we said, let's go to Ikorodu, we should find a facility. And we just felt in our heart that was where we were supposed to put that facility. And I remember that day when Pastor Iswa sent me the picture and sent me several pictures and sent me that. And I saw it. I just knew. She said, it's not good enough. It's not this. I said, I'm coming to see it tomorrow. I got to that land and I knew this was where the Legacy Center would be. From here to the ends of the world. I just knew it. I mean, we had to do a lot of work in there. And I mean, you have to be a visionary to be able to see the potential and to see what God wants to do in a place that didn't look like much. But today, oh my God. I mean, people come in there and they're like, we love this place. People come in there and they're like, how did you do this? How are you making this happen? And I said, it was God. Now we have the Legacy tent out there. And because of that, we are able to change. We're a lighthouse in that community, in the Eyita community.
The race assigned to me. Oh, come on, say, embrace the race that is assigned to me. And I lay aside every distraction. I lay aside every distraction. I run with endurance the race that is set before me, looking unto Jesus, the author and the finisher of my faith. I lay aside
thank God for our amazing partners, the platinum partners, the angel partners. It's because of dedicated men and women that have been able to come this far. People keep saying, how are you doing this? And I'm like, our partners, we are making it happen. If you are listening to me now, watching me right now, and you are looking for how to build legacy, there's no greater legacy. My legacy, our legacy is men and not buildings. It's the investment we make in the next generation, the investment we make as we build and raise and train and love and parent lives. Souls we're winning. I remember in the month of March, we had what we call the Massive March. And in that month, I saw the interns. Oh my goodness. They went crazy. They were berserk. They were on the street. And that month, we must have spoken to about 10,000 souls. And I'm like, how do you pay for that? What is the value of 10,000 souls? What's the value of a community that is set on fire? What's the value of a generation being raised as spokesmen for God? And that's what we do at the Missions Internship Program. I invite you as well, if you're watching this video, join us. Be a partner. Raise your legacy. Your legacy is in the lives of men that will continue to go from one person to another, and the destinies that will be touched that you will never meet. Join us and let's build together. Who are we? We are the G4A Army, and we are the missionaries.
When our generation talks about sacrifice, usually it's something that they're doing for their own personal gain. I'm sacrificing so that I can get this job. I'm sacrificing my time or my money so that I can get this thing for myself. But when I look at the lives of Reverend Dotun and Pastor Vincent Arifalo, I see the depth of sacrifice in their commitment to the kingdom of God. Oh my goodness. It's one thing to hear about sacrifice preached on the altar. It's another thing to witness sacrifice day after day after day, decision after decision, choices after choices. When I look at the example that they live for us, I'm like, God, can we ever feel these shoes? Is it talking about their commitment to people, to loving people, to raising people, to teaching, to growing? Oh, I don't know what else is as difficult as raising people, as transforming lives. It's literally like the most difficult thing you can give yourself to on this earth. But guess what? I've seen them do it over and over and over and over and over again, giving everything from their time to their sleep, to their money, to their food, to their comfort, to their house, to everything you can literally imagine that people can sacrifice for the gospel of Christ. I don't even have the right words to capture all of this. But one thing I know is that we have legends who are paving the path that generations yet unborn will talk about. We read books about the God's generals. I do believe today that God's generals are walking and living amongst us in the person of Reverend Dr. and Pastor Vincent Arifalo.
With Reverend Dr., there will always be more. There is never a dull moment with Reverend Dr. For the past 14 years, I've never had to wonder what's next, because there's always something, even before I start to wonder, there is never a dull moment. She always has a blockbuster idea, but usually it is driven by a need to empower people, a need to reach people.
Her passion to see a generation rise from mediocrity and darkness into the fullness of God's light consistently puts her on her toes to birth movements and institutions that raise the next generation. From the Dominion House churches, to the campus invasion movement, to the Joshua Generation International for teenagers, to Little Arrows for children, to the International Women Kingdom Banquet that sees women raised across the nations of the earth, to the Leading Ladies Foundation and Business Institute. She is the legend that never sleeps. It's literally one thing fast on the heels of the other.
One thing I've witnessed over the years is that life actually changes here. I tell women, if you give God 3 months of your life through the International Women Kingdom Banquet, you will literally see your own life getting transformed before you. This might sound like a bold statement. It's true. That's the power of being in the right community with the right kind of people, being under the right mentorship, because this was my testimony as well. When I joined IWKB, I was simply a young girl who just graduated from university. I had ambitions, I had dreams, but I lacked clarity. I didn't have a clear sense of purpose. But being in this community, I found my voice. I found confidence. I learned leadership and still learning leadership. I moved from not knowing how to pray at all to learning how to pray and also being able to lead other women to pray. Reverend Dotun's heart is for women. Oh my God. She spends her whole life, her whole time creating curriculums, creating systems to see women grow, to see women getting transformed, to see women take their place in destiny, empowering them to be able to live the life that God has called them to live. And that's something that just always brings joy to our heart, to see a woman going from not knowing who she is to finding her place in destiny.
All right. Welcome back to Love by Design. We're so happy to have you here with us. I hope you enjoyed the worship session. Right, Minister Manny just poured out his heart, He poured out his heart. And, like I said, I hope you had your blankets cozied up and just, basking in the love, the atmosphere. It was such an amazing one. And like I said, if you don't have a pillow, you can just hug yourself. God loves you regardless, okay? All right, so now we'll be moving on to the next segment for this program, and that is Love by Design. And we have today none other than Pastor JT and Pastor Olamide. Yes, and they're going to be taking us on today's session. So please get out your notepad. Get ready to ask questions. Pay attention. Remember, listen actively, not passively. If there's anybody that's not here yet, go and get them. Let them know that this is the solution to their problems. Anybody that you know that is in a toxic relationship, that has not been listening to you, side eye, tell them, there's something I think you should watch. Oh. Don't say anything again. Just send them the link. All right. So right about now, we'll be hearing from them. And then right after that, we'll have our question and answer session. So make sure you have your questions and your questions ready for the question and answer session. That will be all for now.
All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome once again to Love by Design. Wow. I'm super excited. All right. Today we're having the second session of Love by Design. Part 2, we loaded. We had the first session on Sunday with Reverend Doctor, and today I am my wife. All right. So in case you do not know, my name is Jesu Tosin. Joko said no me. All right. And with me here is
I'm Olamide Joko Senumi. You're welcome on board, everyone. And it's such a delight to be here this morning.
all right. Now, before we get into the session, we would like to acknowledge our spiritual parents, the ones who gave birth to us.
That's right.
I'm not sure I'll be married today without them. All right. I want to
Very
acknowledge
true.
our spiritual parents in the person of Reverend Dr. Arifalo and Pastor Vincent Arifalo.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mom and Dad.
Thank you, Mom and Dad, for all that you do. We are here today because you provided this kind of platform, and we do not take it for granted. Thank you for all that you do. Ma and Sir, please celebrate them one more again.
Now, today, we're going to be having a very special session. It's not just going to be a teaching session. We are going to be talking about the common mistakes that people make before marriage. And we are going to be relating it with our own personal relationship, how we got into relationship, how we started in marriage, the courtship, how we got into a marriage relationship too as well. All right, so sit back, and it's going to be
Fasting your belt.
a great session. All right, and if you have questions, please ensure that you take down your questions. We have a lot of questions that we are going to be answering today. All right, so take down your questions, and we are going to answer every single one of them. All right, so the common mistakes that young people make before marriage. Last week we had a very amazing session with Reverend Dotun.
That's right.
And we spoke about a lot of things, and many people still had a lot of questions, disapprovements, and they have their own opinions about what marriage should be and what marriage should not be. All right. And one of the things that we spoke about was the fact that there are 3 P's of relationship. The number 1 P is purpose, the number 2 P
It's partnership.
and the number 3 P is procreation. All right. These are the 3 things that are the reason why you should get into marriage: purpose, partnership, and procreation. All right. But today we are going to talk about the common mistakes. What is love? Why do you need to get into a relationship? And the common mistakes that people make before getting into a relationship. All right. Now, the first mistake that people make, all right, is that they get into a relationship based on temporal feelings. Temporal situations cannot hold up a marriage. All right. And we've had a lot of experiences based on
That's
that.
right.
Okay. Now, one of the first temporal decisions that I will say is the fact that number 1 temporal decision, all right, that I feel like you did not make a decision to marry me because of that decision. And that first temporal situation was the fact that I was broke. I was very broke. I mean, I'll be very vulnerable and I'll be very truthful. When I got into a relationship, I was earning 50,000. 30,000 was my transportation. But because you know Lagos now. Lagos is like transportation alone will chop your money. Yeah. All right. And I remember I was working somewhere around town planning. I was living somewhere at Oregon. And I was just earning, I was an intern there, so, but not a mission intern, All right. And I was earning 50K. So when the question of getting into a courtship for marriage came in, at that point it did not make sense to me, because how now, as young people will say, how will we get into such a relationship when you are just earning 50,000 naira? And out of the 50,000 naira, about 25 to 30,000 was going into transportation in Lagos. All right. But, for you, how did you feel? Because I know I told you that at that point how much I was earning. And I'm still quite surprised that you were down to say, oh, you were going to marry me anyway. All right. But that was not a determining factor for you.
That's right. All right. Thank you so much for that question. Yeah, that was, that was real for me. I would say that one of the things that I appreciate about you, was how truthful you were, how vulnerable you were, about your then situation, right? And I'll say that, one of the things that I've learned over time, thank God for mentorship and thank God for, the pastors that, we have, is having a long-term view.
That's right.
It was not about your current situation, but it was about the fact that situations can change. I remember, in recent time, I was talking to one of our senior pastors, Pastor Iswa, and she said something about how that, we don't make decisions based on now.
That's right.
And that's why when it comes to marital decision, it is God is the best. God is in the right position to help us and lead us to the right person.
That's
because
right.
God deals with us based on eternity. He knows everything about this person. He knows where they would be in the next 10 years. He knows where they will be, and he knows their heart. He knows their character as well. And so for me, I just felt you are growing, you are young, things will change. And it's not like me myself was a billionaire or a millionaire, right? But I just had that long-term perception, and then I saw that you had a vision. You didn't have money, but you had a plan.
That's
right. You had a skill. You are not lazy, and that's all that matters, right? You had a clear written out goal, to say, okay, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to do. And so, I was ready to opt in, right?
Right. And I think that for young people, this is where communication also comes in.
That's right.
A lot of times, young people talk about the wrong things before getting into relationships.
So true.
I know that sometimes you should consider finances, but Also, one of the most important things is the vision. What is that person saying? What plan does that person have for the future? And in courtship, communication is key, and also learning how to solve problems.
Very true.
All right, because for instance, when we got into a relationship, we found out that we were two very different people.
Very
All right, me, I was the kind of person that, if I get money like right now, I'm like lao, will blow. All right.
Not anymore.
Yeah, but not anymore. I was. But we spoke about these things, and yeah, it was quite clear the weaknesses and the strengths that we have, and we were able to work, on it together, and see how we can also have an agreement, have plans together, and see how we can, let me tell you guys this. For instance, I was never one that used to like budgeting. Budgeting for, in fact, the first year of marriage, it felt like
It felt like control.
yeah, for me it felt a lot like control, because I was used to, this is my money now. I can. Yes, now, like, leave me. And at that point, I was earning more. So, and at the same time, what I was spending was even less than what she was spending. At the end of the day, she would divide it, and then there's money, there's she money. And what kind of wala is this? But those are the kind of understanding that you should have.
That's right.
In relationships. Communication is key. Understanding each other's strengths, weaknesses, even when it's a temporal situation. But it was easy for me to also agree, because we had already spoken about it way before marriage. Even as we started our courtship, we spoke about everything. We spoke about how we wanted to spend our money. We spoke about how we wanted to plan. We spoke about how we wanted to raise our children and things like that. Even though we didn't even have all the money, but the plan was well written. And it was easy for us to follow the plan. All right. So that's mistake number 1. All right. So I think I'll leave you to mistake number 2.
All right. Thank you so much. That was very profound. So here we have mistake number 2. And it is never marry just because you feel the emotion of love for each other. Love is fickle. We live in a generation where people just get into a relationship because of vibes, right? Based on vibes. So, I like you.
I love it.
We vibe together. We have the same vibe. Let's just get into this relationship. But, love is not enough to sustain. Love is not enough to sustain a marriage. Let's even start with that, right? Love is just a feeling. And like my mentor would say, my mother would say that, love is not a feeling you feel when you feel a feeling you have never felt before.
Right.
Love is commitment. Love is more than a feeling. Right? It is commitment. And you can't make such delegate and such I would say a lifetime decision, because when you want to get married to someone, it should be for a lifetime.
That's right.
It is for a lifetime. So you don't make such decision based on how you feel. Feelings are fickle. They can change anytime.
That's
right.
Right.
I always ask people that you had a crush before, and for some reasons you stopped liking the person. What changed? Did the person change? Your feelings just changed. The crush was crushed, right? Your feelings just change. So feelings is not a major thing you use to, when it comes to making marital decision. It's not the first thing you look at. So I want to ask Pastor JT, what do you look out for if it's not feeling? What is that one thing? If you have to say one thing, what's that one thing that people should look out for when it comes to making marital decision? Is it feeling? Is it not feeling? What are the things that we should look out for?
All right. Number 1 thing for me will be purpose and vision.
Yeah.
What's your plan? What's God's plan for your life, first of all? Yeah. And then what's your own plan? Because you can even say, oh, I know God's plan for my life. And at the end of the day, you're very lazy. You don't even have a plan for yourself. All right. You just want to make the young woman suffer. All right. But have a vision for your life. First of all, discover God's vision, God's purpose for your life. Number two, have a vision for your own life. But your own vision must be in sync with God's vision. All right? It must not overshadow. Everything has to be around it. All right? It must be built around God's purpose for your life. And number two, I would say values. What are your values? All right? Do you have the same values? For instance, you can't marry someone, if you're a man of integrity, you can't marry someone that lies every time. All right? That relationship will not even be able to last.
Work.
If you are someone that very, very diligent with money, and you find someone that says, oh, me, anytime I need money like this, I always borrow, and the person is always in a lot of debt, your values are not aligning.
Right.
All right? Even if you say that, oh, yeah, I see him as God's purpose and God's plan, you must also ensure that the values to also align. Or check his humility or our humility. Yeah, that's character. All right. If a person lacks character, people can have flaws and be willing to work on them. But if you have flaws and you're not willing, come on, it's definitely not going to work. I remember Reverend Dotu mentioned something, and she said the first thing that our father asked when she told him that she was going to get into a relationship was, is he humble? Can he say sorry? And for men, you're going to say sorry. I'm telling you. You will say sorry even for when you are right.
When you're guilty.
All right? When you are innocent, you will say sorry. When you are guilty, you will say sorry. All right? And that's
Very
humility.
important.
Humility is very, very key. All right? So it's not just about love. I always say this. When you fall in love, you are gonna experience an outbreak. Why? Let me use this analogy, and you will clock it after that. All right. Anything that falls must definitely break. All right. So if you fall in love, the end product will be heartbreak. All right. But if you walk in love, walking in love is not about emotions.
That's right.
Falling in love is about emotions. But walking in love is a decision.
So true.
Meaning that you see someone, you see the flaws, you see the temporal situation like we talked about, and you just say like, wow, I'm still interested in what the vision that you have. I'm still making a decision to love you. All right, even though I don't feel all the emotions right now. And you will find out that relationships that are built on that foundation always last.
Very true.
One of the reasons why we have a generation where 70% of people are getting divorced today is because people are making decisions based on emotions. All right? Feelings are fickle.
Very true.
All right? But you must make a decision based on the future, based on purpose, based on vision, and based on your values. All right? So, emotions cannot lead you anywhere. Even the Bible says it, as many as are led by the Spirit of God, they are the sons of God. All right? So, mistake number 2, don't fall in love.
Don't fall in love.
Walk
Work
in love. All right.
Yeah, thank you so much, Pastor JT. While you were just talking, I just remembered our first year of marriage. Now, I've heard a lot of people talk about, how that, the first year of marriage, a lot of this, a lot of fights, a lot of, and, I just thought to myself, I remember reflecting, I think we're reflecting on our first year of marriage. I really can't remember we're reflecting on our first, and I said, I feel like it would have been worse for us, if we were not trained, right?
Definitely.
I feel like it would have been very, very, I don't know, for me, I wasn't looking forward to perfection, but I was also looking forward to a lot of it as well. We had our moments, we had, all of those things. But I remember that, one of the things that really helped us navigate all of those, arguments and all of those things was spiritual maturity.
Right.
Was the fact that we, of course, we are believers, right?
Yeah.
And then not just that, we are growing believers.
That's right.
You can be a Christian and you're not growing, right? But you can be a Christian and you are growing. And you know, one of the end points of our spiritual growth is maturity. Is that you
Right.
would actually even walk in love. You know, there's no way you can walk in love if you're not growing spiritually, right? So it was that foundation that helped us, you know, just really, really, you know, helped us, you know, in that phase, you know, because I mean, many times we have to overlook, you know, each other's flaws, weaknesses, and all of it, you know. And it was that foundation, that the fact that we're both growing spiritually, you know, we're both praying, you know, we're both studying the word, we're both listening to messages that, you know, that are life transforming, and that really helped our journey. So I just wanted to add to what you said, that there's also a part of maturity, especially spiritual maturity. Of course, there's also mental maturity, there's also emotional maturity, but there's that foundation, which is spiritual maturity. In fact, you shouldn't get into a marital relationship if you are not growing spiritually. You are not ready. The foundation, even when it comes to, like Pastor JT mentioned, you know, your purpose and all of it, you can't discover your purpose outside of God.
That's right.
Right? You can't discover your purpose if you're not growing spiritually. So
Yeah.
the starting point, you know, is not even feelings. Let's leave feelings. It's you. Right? You can't use you. You are the starting point. Is that I'm growing spiritually. I've found myself. You know, one of our pastors wrote a great book, and it's Find Yourself Before You Find a Mate.
That's
so
right.
the work is not even on the other person. The work starts with you. You have to be the one who is ready before you find a ready man. You have to be the one who is ready before you find a ready woman.
Yeah.
All right? So you have to be intentional about your walk with God. Now is it, I always tell young people, now is the time to invest in your growth.
Right.
Your spiritual growth, your mental growth,
Yeah.
your emotional growth. You want to be an intentional person. You know, somebody will say, "Oh, I want the right person." I always ask them, "Are you the right person as well? What are you doing to be the right person too?" So let's not put a burden on the other person. Yes, the other person would grow and get it right as well. But you yourself, you want to be intentional about your growth. So thank you very much. We are
Now,
moving
I want to add something about love.
All right.
One of the biggest shocks that you will get when you get married, all right, is the fact that love cannot sustain your relationship.
Very true.
You know why? You know, when emotions see defects and see flaws, emotions can also go down, take a back step. All right. For instance, you see a weakness you don't like. All right. Let me use an example. For me, I'm a kind of person that my space many times I like it very, very tidy. My books must be the same way. You don't touch my stuff.
Yes, sir.
Don't move my stuff.
Don't move my cheese.
Don't move it at all. All right. However, maybe I'm not saying that she's not but sometimes, you know, Pastor Lamide can be the kind of person that, okay, maybe if she wants to get something done, she just maybe roughs it up a little bit. And I'll come back and I'll be like, what happened to my table now? Like, can you just leave my table alone the way it is? Can you, you know? Or sometimes it could be other stuff. I'm not going to share with you guys, so I don't want to be in trouble. All right. But then when you begin to see all these things, you know, it takes a lot of maturity to be able to sometimes even control yourself. For instance, I'm still learning, I'm still growing, all right? Because I'm this kind of person that acts on impulse, and I'm just like, I can the word, but I'm learning to calm down, all right? But then, you know, you see all these things happening a lot of times, but you must learn control too as well. Grow spiritually, and spiritual growth helps you to be able to manage your emotions.
That's right.
Helps you to manage how you feel, all right, how you react.
Yeah.
You know, these are the things, because trust me, 50 years from now, it will be about that decision. 50 years from now, it will be about the fact that you are making a fresh commitment to the decision that you made during your marriage vows, to say that I choose you. And that's what many people don't know. That's why people get divorced, because they feel like, oh, this person is no longer perfect for me. But there is no perfection in marriage. It's just about decision.
That's right.
Making that decision
It's a commitment.
every single day, that
Yeah.
commitment.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, thank you so much. That's very profound. All right, mistake number 3, and I will just hand that over to you.
All right. So, mistake number 3. Never make a marital decision without counsel. This one, very, very, very key. Never ever make a marital decision without counsel. When we were about to get married, one of the first things that we did was we got into, was it 2 weeks? Like a 2 weeks counseling.
And then we had a series of.
Yeah, and before that, we had even had training. Before that, remember there was Adam and Eve. There was there were other trainings like that. But 2 weeks before marriage, we had this special in-person mentorship. You see, the mistake that many people make is the fact that they feel that, okay, marriage is just about I like you, you like me, then let's just get into it.
Yeah.
See, there are some other things that you need to be able to figure out before marriage. It's just like getting orijo. There's something we say orijo. If you're in Nigeria, you understand. Pardon me. Let me use that. All right. It's like expo. All right. It's like getting an expo before you take an exam, because you already know most of the answers. You already know how to answer many of those things, and then you will avoid a lot of mistakes as well during the exam. That's how mentorship too is like. The mistakes that many people make are because of the fact that many people don't get mentorship before marriage.
That's right.
People just enter into it because they feel like I like you, and you see, one of the biggest propellers of these kind of things are social media. Social media makes it feel like, oh, once you just like this person, you have money. And then you are able to do your bachelor's party. You do your, how many parties do we have right now? Bridal shower. You do your engagement. No, before baby shower. You do all those other things. All those parties, like 5 of them, and you have the money to do it, then you can get married. I remember while we were courting, and this man came up to us and he said, why have you guys not gotten married? Shibuti, you already have a fiance. And I said, oh yes. And he said, how much do you earn? But you both of you earn. I said, oh yes, we do earn. I said, so what are you waiting for? And this man was a very, very respected person, but he did not have the right knowledge in that sense, because he based everything on financial aspect and not the most important aspect, which is counseling. He never asked the fact that, are you trained? Do you have the right knowledge? Do you have the right training? But then he just said, okay, go and get married because you have money. All right, but that's the mistake that many people make today. All right, do you want to expatiate on that?
Yeah, this particular mistake is very common, right? Many people make marital decision based on, without accountability, without counsel. The Bible says in Proverbs 11 verse 14 that, in the multitude of counsel, there is safety, right? When it comes to making marital decision, you need counsel, right? Counsel from your pastor, counsel from mentors that have gone ahead of you, people that have actually, people that have good marriages are good mentors. For instance, our senior pastor, Reverend Dr. and Pastor Vincent have the most amazing marriage I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So being mentored by them is great. And that really affected our relationship, affected our courtship, and also affected it's affecting our marriage as well, right? So there's a need for accountability when it comes to courtship. There's a need for accountability when it comes to marriage, right? You need people that will hold you accountable. One of the things that my pastor will say is that, if you are getting into a relationship with someone who is not accountable, that is, they don't have pastors, they don't have anybody they can listen to, that's a red flag, right? For a man, for a woman, Because the truth is, there'll be situations, there'll be there'll be friction even in relationship, right? In courtship,
Right.
there'll be friction in marriage, there'll be friction, and if that person is not accustomed to authority, to hearing, to taking instruction from authority, they don't have anybody that, I don't want to use the word fear, but they don't have anybody that they revere, somebody that they
That they
look up
respect.
to or respect. That is a danger zone, meaning that they can do and undo. Meaning that they can decide to beat the other partner and go away with it because there's nobody that they will listen to. So you want to be intentional about these things. You want to have, someone that you are accountable to, even with your relationship, right? Many people are doing, I've seen Christians who get into relationship and, they didn't intend on having sex. They didn't intend on doing all of those negative things. But because there was no accountability system, they got into those things. And it was not even their intention. Right? It was not, many of them, eventually cry out to say, oh, it was not my intention, but it was too late because the foundation was wrong. There was nobody that was mentoring them, nobody leading them, nobody giving them the right counsel. And so it's important. So when we say things like, oh, accountability matters in relationship and in marriage, people feel like it's control. It's not control, it's safety.
That's right.
Because that's what the Bible says, right? When it comes to this decision, you need people. You need the right people to hold your hands, to lead you, to help you, to give you the right advice, the right counsel. It's just very important. Right? So we'll just move quickly to the mistake number 4. Mistake number 4. I want to believe that we are having such a great time. Right? I want to believe that we're having such a great time. Okay, so mistake number 4. Never put pleasing your spouse or your spouse to be before you. Somebody say self-love. Wherever you are, just say self-love. Put yourself first. Right? And I think for this category, we have many women in this category. Right? I've seen people who, there are people who have great values and all of it, but there's just that thin line between, I think, compromise. Yeah, it's compromise and that's self-love as well, right? So many people just compromise their standards, right? Okay, so what should be your ideal standard? Values, right? You're looking out for values, you're looking out for purpose, and of course, you're also looking at, where is this person coming from, generally. And so for many people, they just compromise, and, maybe because of the age factor for some people, I've been single for a long time, my biological clock is ticking, I need to get married and all of it. So they just settle, and when I say settle, I'm not talking about, material things. I'm not talking about anything material here. Because the truth is the foundation for marriage cannot be based on anything material, right? Cannot be materialistic things, right? It has to be, like we have said and established, it has to be purpose, it has to be values, it has to be vision, right? And so many people settle for men without vision. Many people settle for men without values. Many people settle for men who have no direction, no purpose. Men who have not discovered themselves. And so, it's such a danger zone. It's such a danger zone for many people. Put yourself first. Don't bring down your standard. Your standard is, you have such value for spiritual growth. You have such value for personal development. You have such value for God, for mission. And then you want to marry somebody that is the opposite. It cannot work. It can't work. There's no magic. There's no prayer. I know people say things like, I'm going to pray about it. Every time I always say, okay, look at how much work God is doing on all of us. And then you want to take the place of God to change somebody. It's not possible. You can't change anybody. You can't change a man. You can't change a woman. And so you want to, not compromise when it comes to relationships, when it comes to marital relationship. Right. And I would just, have you say something about that as well.
Yeah. Something people must understand is the fact that marriage is a union between two individuals that have their own way of thinking, that have their own mindset, and they have their own values, even though you're expected to have similar values, all right? But there are certain things that will be called to you that you want to stand by.
That's true.
All right? But you must also ensure that there is a balance between self-care and also considering your spouse. All right? Meaning that you need to know when, I need to stand on my own values. And then you need to know when to say, okay, I need to consider my own spouse. For instance, for us, we had a lot of fights when we got into a relationship, when we got into courtship. And it was not because we were bad people, but it was because of the fact that we were two individuals with different mindsets, and we're just coming together. So there will be friction. All right. If you rub iron and iron together, all right, there will always be friction. Okay. I remember there was a day that I can't even remember what the point, but I have the picture, and it just felt like, but.
Oh, I have many examples.
Many examples.
I really have many. So, Pastor JT jokes a lot. And yeah, I mean, if you stay around Pastor JT, you will have a good laugh. You will have a good laugh if you stay around Pastor JT, right?
Yeah.
And you know, I mean, we can laugh, but don't make me the subject of your joke. I think that for me was a problem, right? I mean, don't make. I mean, let's laugh about life and everything, but don't make me the subject of your joke or the object of your joke. You know, and I know we had a lot of
I mean, I was learning.
friction
I was learning
that.
back then. I remember that I went to meet Pastor Vincent back then because it was causing a lot of friction. We were fighting every day, every single day. And this certain day, I couldn't take it anymore. And I was at work. And then I had a break, so I just called up Pastor Vincent and spoke to him about it. And amazingly, he said he had the same problem. So he was the right person to talk to, because if you know Pastor Vincent very well, you know that he's also very, very witty. So he had the same, but he told me, like, look, you need to consider that person, your spouse.
Very
Never
true.
ever joke about. You can joke with, but don't make her the object of your jokes. Especially when you're outside. If you are together, that's fine. You people can banter each other, like we banter ourselves sometimes when we are alone. But if I banter her outside, that's where I've broken the rule. And she too, she knows that, she doesn't even like banters naturally. All right, she doesn't banter people. She can joke, but not direct banter at people. All right, so I had to learn that because I was already, guys now, we banter anything, Your closest friend, you banter him outside. The guy will almost cry, but I mean, there was a time that someone bantered me. I almost cried, honestly. The thing really entered. But at the end of the day, like 30 minutes later, I was already laughing and joking over it again. And that was the end of it. So coming from that place and learning that, you can't just do that with a woman. A woman is different. It's not a man. All right. So those are things that you need to also put into consideration. And I feel that communication too is also key.
Very important.
All right. When you don't like something, either as a man or as a woman, speak up. But speak up in a very, very good manner, politely. All right. Don't be aggressive about it. Don't shout about it. But just talk about it. I do not like this, and that's what I stand by. Please, can you? So you have to consider that. But the bad part is when, sometimes women can be very, we call them silent killers in some cases. All right, meaning that they can give you that silent treatment. All right, but when you begin to give a silent treatment, I mean, you are not helping the person to know what you like and what you do not like.
Actually,
you are not helping yourself. You are killing the relationship. All right, so don't be a silent killer as a woman.
Even
and
men do it, actually.
Some men do it too as well. All right.
Someone said we do it more. well, I mean, both genders do it. All right, I want to just add to this. There's a place of healthy boundaries when it comes to courtship, when it comes to marriage. Now,
right.
It took a while for me to learn, and I'm still learning this, right? We're two different people. We have different mindset, different backgrounds, different things that will even annoy us. I mean, what would annoy me would necessarily not annoy you.
Right.
Right. And when I mean annoy, I'm not talking about the extreme kind of annoy. I mean what you're not pleased with. Right. And so what's the place of healthy boundaries? For instance, somebody says, I don't like this, and you keep doing this, but the other person is not even seeing it that way. The other person feels like, there's nothing bad about what I just did. And the person is still saying, I'm saying I don't like this.
True.
So what's the middle ground for healthy boundaries?
All right.
For boundaries.
The middle ground for boundaries, like I said, just consider your partner. Just consider your partner. And in communicating about it, you find out that, truly, especially when the other person comes to you and say, I was really hurt by this, or when you say this, I'm really hurt, and that. So communication is key. If you're going to set clear boundaries, you need to be able to communicate it properly. All right, you need to be able to express yourself. Don't hold back, and at the same time, don't be too aggressive. Be very polite. Say it, all right, in a very polite. Say everything, all right. It's good to be vulnerable, especially for men. Men sometimes find it difficult to be vulnerable. They don't know how to express themselves like women, but you must learn to express yourself as a man. You must learn to speak how exactly you feel.
Very true.
And even for a woman, you must learn to speak how maybe someone hurt you, or someone did not hurt you, or someone said something that was bad. You need to be able to communicate that. In fact, communicate how the person made you feel in a good way too as well, so that the person can also keep doing it if possible. All right. So boundaries is all about communication, setting those clear boundaries, and please be realistic. Be very, very realistic with your boundaries. Don't start putting boundaries that are very, very. They're very, very. What's the word now?
Unrealistic.
Unrealistic. Don't put unrealistic. For instance, you are saying that. For example, maybe you say one of the boundaries that you have is by this certain time. Just an example. You say, from this certain time, from 8 to 10, my husband, please, don't talk to me. Don't talk to me at all. I'm usually not in the mood for that. I'm just using that as an example, all right? But please be very, very realistic with your boundaries, all right? Make it as, there are some things that people feel are boundaries, but they are not. They are not boundaries, all right? They are not boundaries. It's just you being very selfish, all right? At some point I was very selfish, I will not lie. I never used to like sharing my stuffs. And I would say it's boundaries. Please just leave. If I buy this thing, just leave it. All right, but those are not boundaries. All right, I can tell you for a fact, your spouse will eat your food.
A lot.
She will take your things. It doesn't belong to you anymore. All right?
A lot.
You need to learn to accept that. You must accept
on a lot.
A lot. And for instance, I'm the one.
Yes.
I'm the one that eats her food the most.
A lot.
So it's like the reverse for me.
My proteins too.
Yes. For instance, I had, when we were giving plantain chips yesterday, I had most of it. Yeah, and there was a witness.
I have a testifier. A witness.
So there are no boundaries for your stuff. They belong to both of us, all right? But boundaries can exist in certain skincare. No, ideally, you should share things like that.
Actually.
All right. But don't share makeup, please. All right.
All right. Thank you so much, Pastor.
Thank you too.
All right. Another thing that I want to share personal experience. It took a while for me to understand boundaries, right? Many times I would always say, just say things like, I don't appreciate this, I don't like this at all. And I promise you, sincerely, to me, it's not that bad. It's not even, it's not that deep. It's not that bad, but I think I'm starting to learn. I started learning how that, we need to respect people's boundaries, right?
Right.
We need to respect. When people say they don't like you, don't be defensive. Don't say, oh, but it's not a big deal. Don't say, oh, but I mean, there are reasons they don't. I mean, just like you don't like certain things too, they have the right not to like certain things. So don't be defensive. Don't be all worked up to say, but it's not even a big deal. I know that there are extreme cases where
It is
people
a big
don't
deal.
like where people don't like some things that are. I mean, they should reasonably like, but you know, there's also that part of, okay, I don't like this. You have to respect their feeling. When people come and tell you, you made me feel bad, don't say, why did you feel bad? It's not a big deal. No. Please, let's consider the other person. Let's understand their standpoint. Let's what's the word now? Bear with them. Feel what they are feeling at that point, and then you can always talk about it. All right, thank you so much, Pastor JT. And then we'll take the final mistake number 5. Don't forget, we're talking about 5 mistakes that people make before and even in before marriage and even in marriage as well.
All right. So mistake number 5 is never put the cart before the horse. Now this is a metaphor, okay?
Yeah.
But so we need to be able to explain the metaphor. But we will use the same metaphor to explain it. All right. I mean, if you have watched Asian movies and you've seen movies that have a lot of horses and things like that, you find out that certain horses or certain special people always have these kind of horses that have this carriage or something at the back that the horse is dragging. All right. Now, it will be very abnormal to have that cart. They call it a cart. That's why they say don't put the cart before the horse. It will be very abnormal to have the cart and then the horse is behind it. What's going to happen? You're not going to experience any form of movement.
Yeah.
All right. Why? Because the natural order is that the horse is before the cart and not the cart before the horse. And that's why this metaphor exists. And what it means is that, all right, ensure that you have the right order.
Proper order.
All right, the right order when it comes to marriage. Don't put the things that are not supposed to be the most important things. Don't put them at the top of your priority. There are certain things that are not going to be priority when you are considering a marital relationship. All right, like we mentioned, the first point was do not consider temporal things before getting into a relationship. There are certain decisions that you must not make before getting into relationships. Why? Because it's like putting the cart before the horse. It's like talking. It's like buying a spare tire before you even have a car. All right, it's a waste of time. It's a waste of priorities. It's a waste of effort, waste of resources. All right, and these are things that you should. For instance, now, when we were in courtship, there were certain discussions that we had. Like I mentioned, there were certain things that we put as priority. Number 1, we already started speaking about how we wanted our home to be like, because that's what marriage is all about. We already spoke about the purpose. We already spoke about we're ministry people. So we spoke about the number of churches that we wanted to plant. We spoke about how we wanted to raise our children. We spoke about all these important things. All right. I remember Pastor Lamide asked me, she questioned me. It was like an interview. And she asked me several questions, which I was able to answer. Okay, thanks to training. All right, but these are very, very important things that you must put first. Like we said, purpose. Marriage is for purpose, partnership, procreation. Purpose, number 1. You speak about all those things. And do not let the other things be the priority. Now, you might be asking the question, what are those other things that should be at the back, backstage, or should not be very, very important? All right. Now, a common example is, let's say, a car. A car. Many people have built the ideology that before you get married, you must have a car. That how will you be trekking as a couple? All right. Jumping buses. All right. But let me tell you something. If you have not even built yourself and you have not found your purpose, you can have a car and still be very empty.
Very true.
Right? There are lots of empty people that have cars. I was eavesdropping on a conversation, and the person was talking about the fact that she was speaking to people that work in a bank. They have cars, and while listening to them, she realized that these people were completely empty. I'm very vain. They could speak a lot of grammar, and you know that how loaded you are is not defined by the amount of grammar you can conjoin and bring up. How loaded you are is about the quality of content, the quality of vision that you have, the quality of things that you are speaking. These are very, very important factors. Another thing is making the wedding bigger than the marriage itself. Or more important. All right? You see a lot of people that get into a lot of debt because they are planning the best wedding. I don't know what Gen Z's call it these days now, escape wedding or destination wedding or things like that. My brother, you can have the best wedding in this life and still have the worst marriage.
Terrible marriage.
And that's why not going after mentorship before marriage is also an error. A very, very big error. So don't put the cart before the horse. Don't consider the carnal part. Sometimes too, sometimes people are even they're already talking about sex. They will talk about, when we get married, one of the first things that you first realize is that your expectation, calm down. Calm down. When it comes to all this, even the sexual part and all those things, you could say, when we get our house, we'll have different bedroom, and then we will, I don't want to say it because they are kids. All right, so calm down. Those things are not the most important thing. Yeah, they'll get to a time that you will talk about them. You need to talk about them at some point, but not at that moment. Yeah, very, very close to the wedding, but not immediately you start. Because, for instance, if you start talking about sex from the day one of your courtship, trust me, you might engage in sexual activities before even marriage. And we advise and encourage everyone to abstain from it until you get into your marriage. Sex is for marriage.
That's right.
All right, so don't put sex before marriage. People will say, I've heard very hilarious things. I've heard the craziest things in my life. I attended a bachelor's party, and they asked these couples, and they said, have you tasted the apple before? I don't need to explain what that is. And the person was like, do you buy a product do you not test the product before buying it?
Hey.
And in my mind, to me, back then, because I was in the world, it made sense to me. And I was like, oh, come on, Joe, go board, Joe. Like you are speaking sense. But when I got to know a lot of things, it just felt like, these people said a lot of nonsense. It did not make any sense. All right? The purpose of marriage is for procreation. All right? Meaning that anything that will lead to procreation should be happening in marriage. Not outside. Before. Not that you are testing. It's not a microphone. All right? Don't test waters. Don't test all those things. All right. Yeah, so that's it for me.
Thank you so much, Pastor JT. We live in a world where, a lot of people are very materialistic. A lot of young people, a lot of people, there's just so much misplaced priorities, I would say, even when it comes to relationship, when it comes to marriage, and just like you have said, there are things you don't put forward. You don't put the cart before the horse.
That's right.
There's just the right order when it comes to marital relationship. There's the right thing. There's the first, there's the second, there's the third. And so you want to be intentional about, building your marriage even before you get into it, right? You are intentional about building a template for your marriage even more than the wedding, right? Wedding is just one day. Marriage is for a lifetime.
That's right.
Should be for a lifetime, right? So you want to be intentional about investing in how this marriage will work, how this marriage would would stand the test of time, how this marriage would influence other people positively, how this marriage would be a blessing to a generation, right? Because marriages should actually be a blessing to generations, should actually be blessings to people. So you want to be intentional about that, and that's where mentorship comes in. That's where reading books. I believe that if people actually if you actually go to school to become a professional, you should actually go to training, get trained for marriage. This is an institution that you will be in for the rest of your life. We always say this way, that you'll be more married than you are single. Yeah, I mean, many people get married in their 20s, in their 30s, even in their 40s. You'll be more married than you are single. So you want to be intentional about learning about how marriage will. Invest your time in it. And you're not too young. It doesn't matter your age, right? You are not too young to learn about marriage. Start now. Start early, right? And, seek counsel, get mentored, and, you're on the right track, to getting it right when it comes to marriage. All right. So thank you for joining this session. And over now to I want to believe that you've learned something.
Yeah.
I want to believe that you've learned something. If you've learned anything new today or something that you just really need to hear again, I want you to type it in the chat session. Just put it in the comment. I learned this, I learned that, and I'm gonna get it right. You can just post it on your status. I'm getting it right maritally. I'm getting it right when it comes to my relationship. Thank you, everyone.
What fortune lies beyond the stars? Those dazzling heights too vast to climb. I got so high to fall so far, but I found heaven. This love swept through my heart beating, my soul breathing. Come on, you sing. What fortune lies beyond the stars? Those dazzling heights too vast to climb. I got so high to fall so far, but I found heaven. This love swept through my heart beating, my soul breathing. Come on, you sing. What fortune lies beyond the stars? Those dazzling heights too vast to climb. I got so high to fall so far, but I found heaven. This love swept through my heart beating, my soul breathing. Come on, you sing. What fortune lies beyond the stars?
All right, so welcome back, everyone. We've had an amazing time. Listening to Pastor JT and Pastor Ola, some of the things they said were just touching my core values. I say, wow, maybe I should also change my mind, maybe. But we'll think about it. For example, one of the things that really touched my heart there, I remember I always wanted a destination wedding. All these of my Pastor JT saying? It did not make sense to me like that. I wanted to get married on a yacht, going to Dubai. You know,
It depends on your account balance now.
Yes. So currently, we cannot do that. You know, I think I'd rather have a fully furnished house.
Exactly.
Right now than get on a yacht to Dubai because it is well. So we're back for the question and answer session, right? And I have seen some funny questions. Well, I've seen some very funny questions, and relax, we'll answer them to the best of our abilities. Okay, so right now I'll be reading out some of the questions, and then we'll have Pastor JT and Pastor Ola answer them for us. Please, if you have any questions, reach out to any means possible. Type on the comment section, reach out to the person that invited you, send your questions, just feel free, express yourself. We'll try our best to answer your questions. Now, for the first question I have here, it says, what do you say about leadership and partnership in marriage? A lot of men need training, In my opinion, many broken and chaotic homes are a product of bad leadership.
That's right.
How do we address immaturity in most men and high rates of emotional unintelligence?
I think I should answer this question. All right. This is where having the right community comes in, and also having values. All right. First of all, you want to get married to a man that is in the same community with you, going through the same training that you have gone through. All right. You don't want someone that is lagging behind and the person is highly emotional. I mean, what's the word that you can't even use? The person is not emotionally intelligent. The person is not there when it comes to mental training. The person does not read books. The person does not engage in any form of training. And a lot of men are like that. You find out that there are more trainings for women than men. All right, but if you're in the right community where men are being trained, for instance, then you're almost guaranteed that you will have the right kind of man, because the community encourages people. And then when you find a man that is not enrolling for such relationship, why should you marry that man in the first place? All right, so the question of community or the consideration of community has to also come in. And then mentorship, all right? And in having a counseling session, in having mentorship with your pastor, all right, you'll be able to find out that, oh, this person, there's something off. There's something very, very off. Before you even get into the relationship, you should get the go-ahead from your pastor. And your pastor knows everybody that is in church. And that's why we say marrying your church is for your good, so that you not go and make a mistake and then you are trapped. Many women are already trapped because they went outside, they found a tall, dark, and handsome that had the Mercedes, and then you find out that on the inside, this guy is empty, has nothing. He has all the cars, has all the material things, but no training. No training at all. All right, so mentorship, community, very, very, very important. And that's why even courtship before marriage is also very, very important. Because many people have even found out that, oh, during courtship, these, you find it out, you take it to your mentors, you speak to your mentors about it. The person learns and is humble enough to correct them, good. But if the person does not learn and is not humble enough to correct, that's the end. And that's why it's important to even get into courtship under your pastors. Under authority.
Yeah, I mean, just to add to it, I completely agree that most failed marriages, right, are caused by men. I understand that women too.
It's very true.
Women too have their issues and all of it, but you know, the man is a leader. The man is the head of the family, and so you know, it means that he has to be responsible, right? It means that he has to be in charge of his family. He has to be responsible, and so you know, for you know, anyone who is looking out to get married, you know, any man who is looking out to please submit to training, right? Get trained on how marriage works. Get trained 360 degree.
Right.
Because it takes you being trained to even know what to do, right? I mean, I remember having a conversation with someone who was hurting from, you know, the kind of relationship our parent had and how it affected them as children. You know, and you know, I just told her that, you know, if your dad knew better, he would act better. Yeah. And the truth is, many men don't know better. And so if they are trained, if they submit to training, it actually even takes humility to be trained, right? It takes humility to be trained. We don't
That's
know,
right.
you don't know many things. You have never been married before. So before you get married, get the right training. Submit to training. Humble yourself, right? We are not, we are in a very enlightened generation. You can learn, right? You can open your mind to learn. You have to be intentional about that, right? So that's just what I wanted to add to that.
Wow, thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for that. Truly, there's a lot of emotionally unintelligent people out there, and
A lot of them.
mentorship and training is the answer to that question. All right, I have something else, and I really like this question actually. It says, I'm up for women empowerment and feminism and all. But as a man, can you take a woman who asks you out seriously?
Who has what?
Can you take a woman who asks you out as a man and the woman asks you out? Like he supports women empowerment, go girl.
Okay.
But he doesn't know about the woman asking the man out.
Okay. For me, I think that's why we say there's a right order. All right. Men are meant to be the ones doing the chasing. All right, not women. All right. When I see a woman that is asking a man out, that's desperation, and that's very dangerous. All right. She could have a controlling mindset, or she, at the end of the day, you find out that she will be, we discussed something the other time, we spoke about a point. She will not really be her true self. She will always try to please that person. Why? Because from the first moment, she did all the chasing, which is not her true nature. All right, so that foundation is already wrong. And I believe that when you find a woman, when you find the right partner, you will know as a man, and then chase that. Don't wait for the woman. And as a man, don't get into the trap of pitying a woman because she likes you. Don't want her to feel bad. All right. If a woman is coming up to you we don't even ask people out in the first place. We talk to our pastors. All right. And then the man takes, when I spoke to Reverend Dotun, all right, she asked me that I should go and speak. She did not say, wait for Pastor Ola to come and speak, because there's a natural order. All right. Don't put the cart before the horse.
I completely agree that, women are to be chaste, right? And, in our community, we advise that, before you talk to a woman, talk to a pastor. Talk to your pastor, and your pastor can, and that will save you a lot of, 9 inches kind of experience, right? Where she tells you no and all. So if she's going to tell you no, the pastor would tell you themselves, which is even better, right? So, it's just safer. And that's also, a good platform for accountability as well.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I have quite an interesting question. It says, no sex before marriage. What happens on the first night if you discover that his manhood is not working? Hallelujah.
I'll leave Pastor Ola to answer that question.
Okay. I remember somebody saying, I remember Pastor Jesse just saying this, and I also remember someone saying, how that, how do we know that, both, the organs are working and all of it.
Tools.
Right? The tools.
We call it tools. Tools of revival.
Are working, and I heard someone say, that there are ways. There are ways that are not even sexual at all. Right? There are ways you can know. And that's why just marry in your community. I don't know how else to say it than that. Just marry your community. There are things that your pastors can help you investigate. Just chill. I'm not going to give you the details, but there are things that your pastor will help you with. Like asking his roommates, asking people. Do you get it? Like asking people around. There are just things that you have privacy. We have privacy, but they're just things that having a pastor just helps you solve, right? So you don't need to. People have not gotten married and everything is working, People have gotten married and everything is working. So, I mean, it's just, many people just use that as an excuse. I believe that when people say things like that, sometimes, and I'm not saying that this person is not sincere and everything. I'm saying when people say things like, oh, what if the manhood is not working? I just say they're just not being sincere. And it's working. What if it's working too? What if it's working and active? You know. But I also want to say that, you know, there are ways, and when the foundation is wrong, everything will be wrong. Right? When the foundation is wrong, everything will be wrong. What was the foundation of this relationship? What was the foundation of this wedding? What was the foundation of this marriage? All right, that's all I.
And I also say take tests. Yeah. There are tests that are required to take before marriage.
Yes.
All right, so that you know that everything is okay.
Complete.
You genotype, you know, you take even sexual tests, sperm count.
Yeah.
You check the things also for women, but there are different tests that people just take for
actually, very true.
the reproductive part.
Wow, that was a refreshing response. Okay, so I have something here. It says, what if the person you like is growing, has a pastor, and has a good character? Is that enough? Or do you literally need to hear God for yourself, saying, my son, this is the right person for you? Okay. Says, what if the person you like is growing? They have a pastor and they have a good character. Is it enough? Or do you literally need to hear God say, my son, this is the right person for you?
Well, the person you like, having a good character, is growing, is under a pastor, yeah, there's still the place of God leading also. And we would not in any way downplay on that, right? God leads us. You know, I would like to say that, you know, I mean, weeks before Pastor JT, not even weeks, weeks before he came, you know, talking about marriage, you know, I'd been praying, I'd been fasting. Actually, I was on a 1 week fast. You know, I'd been praying. Sorry? Okay, I'd been praying, I'd been fasting. You know, I was taking off Pauline prayers just for clarity. And I feel like when I even heard that I was the one, I was struggling with it. I had to pray some prayer of consecration, in fact. You know, because physically speaking, I used to say that Pastor JT was not my spec.
But right? I was the finest spec now. What do you mean?
Right? I used to say that, you know, it was not my spec and all of those things. And that's why, I mean, that's why we can't make that's why we can't make, you know, such decision based on physique, right? You know, and of course, you know, we still pray about it. And when you pray about it, you know, many times even our pastors will also confirm in the place of prayer. That's why I said counsel just goes a long way. It's not just about them being in your community. It doesn't mean that because you are in a community, you can marry anybody in your community. You know, that it doesn't work that way. Right? There's still the part of God leading us. And it is scriptural, right? God leads us. God, you know, wants, I mean, God is still the one that, you know, leads us to the people that we get married to. And that's the safest way to make marital decision, right? That's the safest way. I know many people have pseudo peace, you know, saying, I feel peace, I feel at peace, and so is the world. No, right? It doesn't work that way. And that's why if you are not trained to hear God, you know, if you are not trained, you know, if you are not growing spiritually, there's no way you will hear. There's no way. The starting point is that you even know God for yourself, to even you're even able to discern what He's saying to you about that decision, right?
Thank you so much. You've actually answered another question with that response. And the person was asking about how to hear from God and know that it's not just your emotions. So you answered that with that response right there. Someone made a reference back to the question before this one. And she said, is it enough reason to end the courtship? The one about finding out that his manhood is not working.
Oh, in some cases, yes. In many cases, if you cannot manage it, if it's incurable, then it's enough reason. I mean, that's a very serious reason. You cannot downplay it. You cannot. You can't say I want to marry, because you might end up eating yourself and eating the man. And it will lead to a lot of regret. All right? You'll just be eating the man for something you already knew. All right? But in many cases too, many of them are reversible. All right? Many of them are reversible. And that's why all those tests and then meeting a consultant or a specialist will just help even before marriage. Yeah.
All right. So someone asked, "What do you do for fun in a spiritual relationship?"
Many things. Many things. You can't. You can pray together. You can fuck together. You can attend. You can go on evangelism dates. Right? You can take yourself out. I mean, even beyond church activities, you can take. I mean, public places to be precise. Public places, right? You can. I mean, a lot of things you can do. You can read together. You can go on picnic dates. You can go to the beach. I mean, you can really have so much fun.
So much fun.
Outside sex. Outside, and not just sex, so, there are other foreplay and all of those things. You can have a clean and healthy courtship without sex, without foreplay. It is possible, right? It's very, very possible. Yeah.
I mean, when we started courtship, we started our relationship with a date. That was the date I mentioned last week that I almost trekked back home because I just had 20K out of transportation, and I spent about 15K on the date. So, well, God supplied. All right. I remember even the second date too. But we went on a couple of dates. Reverend Dotun even advised that you should have moments that you hang out together from time to time, if possible once a month. If it's not possible once a month, but at least once a month, where you just have alone time, both of you just go out. If it's movies, watch movies together, but maybe in a public place. But for married people, you can watch a lot of movies together, and then go out on dates, have evaluation together. There are a lot of things that married people do, and even people in courtship have to do to just have fun too and connect.
All right, thank you so much. It was just funny when Pastor said you can pray together. You can fast together. Well, it's okay. There are other ways to have fun.
Yeah.
Someone asks a question about the one. He says, "What do you do when you know she's the one, but you feel like she's all over the place, she's unsure, and she's inconsistent?"
Okay, you feel you know she's the one, but you feel that she's all over the place, and she's inconsistent, and if she's inconsistent, well, I don't know if the lady knows that you know that she knows that she's the one. Right? I don't really know that, but I mean, if you're convinced that she's the one, then go for her.
Talk to your pastor.
Talk to your pastor. Talk to your pastor. But I mean, I think all over the place can also be a personality trait. Mm-hmm. She's just outgoing. She's bold, and maybe you're a quiet person. I don't know, but it doesn't necessarily mean that she's not the one. If you feel like she's the one, but you should talk to your pastor. If you have a pastor, if you don't have a pastor, get a pastor.
Very important.
Thank you so much. Now we have one that's a bit serious. It's not as funny as the other ones, right? Says, I met a guy who is visionary and spiritually compatible. His plans for the future and the steps that he's taking are all good, but I'm skeptical due to tribal differences. It feels like a lot to introduce him to family, knowing my parents will not agree. What do I do in this situation?
Okay. Now, one of the things which we encourage is, as much as possible, like we said, don't make decisions don't put the cart before the horse. Okay? Now, your tribe is not a determining factor in marriage. And look, if your parents are saying it's about tribe, the truth is that there's an element of control that parents want to have when it comes to marital decisions. And look, if you're going to get married, you must ensure that your decision to get married is not based on what your parent wants, but based on what God wants and what you want.
That's right.
All right? Now, there are certain cases that parents will oppose, maybe because of tribe. They could even oppose you because of other reasons. Money. Like me. When I was going to get married, when we were going to get married, My mother said no. She insisted we are not going to get married. Why? You don't have money. You don't have a car. You don't have a house. You don't have many things. All right. But I stood on my ground, and I was ready to make that decision, because at the end of the day, I will be the one to live with the decision, not them. I'll be the one in the marriage. I'll be the one living the life that I want, not them. All right? They can advise. But if you have seen the picture of the person you want, irrespective of the tribe, please go ahead. Family could say no, and that's fine. The fact that, I'm telling you the truth, the fact that your parents do not agree does not mean that the marriage is not blessed. Yeah. And that's the truth. We need to get to that point where we are saying it's okay. If we are not ready with that decision, that's fine. We've had several cases, people that did not agree because of certain conditions, certain tribes, certain demands, and things like that. But those people said, we are still going to go ahead with or without you. It's my marriage, it's my life, it's my future we are talking about. So you cannot place demands on my own life. I'm the one that will place such demands, and I'm going to go ahead with or without you. So whether they show up or not, and the truth is that they will show up. My mother said the marriage will never happen. But at the end of the day, when it came to the time, the introduction, she was boning throughout. I mean, she was not too happy. It was very obvious, but she just showed up because family members at some point, they encouraged her to show up. But she didn't look too excited. All right, but at the end of the day, now she's very excited. The other day we called her and she was super excited. All right, now if she wants to even make decisions, she's reaching out to us and she's telling us, oh, this is what she wants to do, and what do we think about it? All right, because at the end of the day, they always realize that it is the future and then the happiness of our child that matters, and they will come to understand that whether now or later in the future.
Wow. Thank you so much for that, Pastor JT. So we have another question, and the person says, what if you're attracted to older women as a young man? Hallelujah.
Okay, what if you are attracted to older women as a young man?
Maybe the person should define older women.
Okay,
Is it like sugar mommy, older woman?
Sugar auntie.
Or is it like sugar auntie, the person times two of your...
All right, first of all, I'll say that person needs mentorship, right? And well, I mean, when you say older women, that means that person has to be way older than you, because the way it sounds, the context seems like older women. I think person first of all needs mentorship, right? And here we have situations where men are actually younger, a little younger than the women, which is okay, right? But older, I don't think that order is right. And I think you need to talk to your pastor about it, right? Because you need to also look at the desire. Is it that, because they have more things, they are more bagged, that is material things, and so they can sponsor your lifestyle? But I think you need to know the root of that attraction. And I think you need to also talk to your pastor about it. All right.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that, Pastor Lam. All right, so we have one last question, and then we'll call this a wrap.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, someone asked a question, but it has already been answered. So I'll tell the person to just probably go back in the recording, the live. It says, how do you help someone who is not emotionally intelligent in a relationship? Now, there was talk about mentorship and having a pastor and being trained.
Yeah.
You can just rewind a little bit and you find the answer there.
That's right.
Moving on to the next question. It says, if you have someone where you share the same goal if you have someone where you share the same goal and similar doctrine, but you attend different churches, what do you do? The same goal, similar doctrine, but you attend different churches, what do you do?
Well, I believe that, as a couple, I mean, two is becoming one.
Yeah.
If they are not yet married, right? You should be in the same church, right? I mean, I just feel like it's division. You know, when people, I mean, a couple, you're intending on getting married, but you're in two different churches. Right? Every church has its own theology, no matter what. Every church has its own vision. Every church has its own foundation and all of those things, right? And, you know, you're building a home together. You don't want to confuse your children. You don't want to confuse even yourself, right? I mean, there's going to be a lot of clash of interest. You know, your church is having this. My own church is not having this, but I want to go there. I mean, it's a whole lot. So I believe that before marriage, you should come together to decide, okay, so what church are we going to attend? If one person is a leader in one church, the other person is a leader in another church, it's a subject of, you know, discussion. I've heard of stories of, you know, certain people who were both pastors in different churches. And they had to end the relationship because nobody was willing to leave. I'm pastoring sheep. I can't leave my sheep. You're also pastoring these particular people. I can't leave them as well, right? And, you know, and it really, I mean, they have to go their separate ways so that they can focus on ministry, you know, and all. But you have to come together to decide what church do we want to attend. And then, you know, that's also the place of having pastors, you know, having a mentor, right? I mean, it's just, you can have similar goals. I mean, some churches will even have similar theology and all of it, but I just believe that staying in the same place would help the couple. It would even make you stable. There's just such stability that comes with being in the same place, hearing the same thing, getting the same kind of mentorship and training. That would be the best, you know, the best thing that, you know, you would do to enhance and help that marriage.
Now, and I'd like to add something, just as a point. You know, the thing about marriage is that as much as we say, oh, it's the purpose, there is something too about doing things together. There's something about going to a place together. It builds a strong bond. Now, imagine coming back from church. You heard the same sermon. You heard the same things. And then you come back. You discuss, this is what happened in church. It just fosters that love. It builds that bond because you have the same vision you are talking about. You have the same things that you're talking about. You are in the same community. You are growing together. You are doing life together. It helps a lot. Now, we are not saying that it is a sin to be in different churches, but I'm just saying, what we are saying is this. Being in the same community just helps you to grow together. That you will not, the kind of growth you experience when you are together in the same community, you might not experience that kind of growth. When it comes to mental growth, financial growth, spiritual growth, you might not experience that degree of growth if both of you are together. And as a couple, you need to be growing together. You are raising children. All of you are going to the same church together. You are teaching them the same values, the same teachings, everything together. And it just aligns. There's nothing as beautiful as driving to church with your family together. It's such a beautiful feeling. Rather than saying, okay, we are going to have a roster. This week, you will go to your mother's church. This week, next week. It's just like people who are married and then they are separated. Because it's almost similar. But when you do things together, even your children are watching you serve God together. They're not confused. All right? It's not a sin, but it just helps the marriage. It just helps you to grow together.
Wow. Thank you so much, Pastor Ola, Pastor JT. That was an amazing question and answer session. And, you know, unfortunately, we can't answer all your questions again. For some reason, during topics like relationship, love, people have a lot of questions. And it's good. It's good, actually. Because questions save you from problems. When you ask the right question, you get the right answer.
That's right.
It saves you a lifetime of problems.
Right.
You know, the reason a lot of people are in toxic relationships, they are in situations right now that they cannot get out of is because they didn't ask the right questions. And they are where they are now. So take every opportunity to ask the right question. Take every opportunity to get into conversations with the right people. And that's why it's so important who you're doing life with.
That's right.
A good community, the right community. Have a pastor, a mentor, someone that is guiding you, that has lived this life 10 years ahead of you. You know, someone that has just walked this journey before. Someone said something one time. She said, why do you want to figure out something that someone else has figured out and they've written a book about it.
Right.
But you want to go through the hard way by yourself. How now? Save yourself the stress and just be mentored, follow, and have a good community where you have people that have the same values, the same mindset, that are being trained, though, heavy on being trained, because it's not just any community, but a growth-centered community. And speaking on community, as we are now bringing this session to a close, you're going to be watching the video, and you're going to be listening to people whose lives have been transformed by the power of community and mentorship. So stay tuned. Right after that, we have one last thing to say to you, and that will be the end. See you soon.
Person that couldn't pray for long hours. I mean, I was barely praying for 30 minutes a day. But now, I'm praying consistently for long stretches of hours every single day. Recently, I did a 15-hour prayer stretch at a go.
The Bible used to be my sleeping drug. Whenever I open the Bible, I just sleep off. But now, I enjoy reading the Bible. I do not struggle to stay awake while reading the Bible. Instead, I find myself longing for the Word more and more every day. The Word of God has become so real to me.
I used to be a church boy, and that's because my parents always wanted me to go to church. I didn't really know God. I was confused. But now, I'm beginning to know God. I love the Word, and I love fellowshipping with God's people.
In case you're wondering how these people went from the point at which they were to where they are now, they found a community, they got on a journey, and their lives never remained the same. If you're watching this video, you found that community. I'm about to go on a journey. Join us for a 1-week spiritual growth bootcamp themed Activate, happening on the 26th of July to the 2nd of August. This bootcamp is going to be a major turning point in your life. If you're struggling to pray, if you're finding it hard to get into God's word, if you're struggling with your consistency, if you need accountability and mentorship, then this bootcamp is for you. Register now and be a part of this life-changing opportunity. It's absolutely free. It's time to get activated.
Transformation. I was a party girl and I just thought I could live life based on vibes. And then I also was trying to find God in so many things. It was a struggle at the time for me because it was just me trying to be someone that I wasn't. I didn't even know who I was before. I got into relationships I wasn't supposed to be in. I got into friendships I wasn't supposed to be in. I didn't know how to have a personal relationship with God. I just knew, oh, you'd pray, have your morning devotion, and then that's it. I didn't know how to truly fellowship with God. I was meant to further my education, and then I took the spiritual growth, praying for long hours. I've never actually stressed myself that much. Like, I've never done that before. Like, the longest I've prayed is 12 hours. Now I know how to actually fellowship with God. Like, I know how to have a personal relationship with God. I would say it's best to find a community, a pastor, a mentor, someone that would hold you by your hand. What if that clarity you've been praying for is waiting on the other side of that one decision?
Currently serving. This might be the most important video that you will watch today. Graduation is over. The pictures have been posted. Now you're staring at a question nobody really prepared you for. What's next? Not the answer you have been telling everyone else. The real answer. Maybe you're serving, maybe you're currently working, but deep down, something does not feel settled. Every time you open Instagram or LinkedIn, someone seems to be moving ahead. And while you are genuinely happy for them, you quietly start asking yourself, what if I spent the last 5 years building a life I was never meant to live? What if I'm already heading in the wrong direction and I don't know it? The scary part is you don't drift into the wrong life overnight. One day, you simply stop and wonder, how did I get here? Maybe that's why we created the Spiritual Growth
All right, so welcome back to Love by Design, and I'm sure that we've had an amazing time. We've had a time of refreshing, actually, because mindsets have been changed, or at least on the journey of being changed. People have learned new things, people have unlearned certain things, and it's just a different perspective, a fresh perspective on life. And if you're here and this is your first time encountering us, we are the Dominion House. All right, so welcome. This is the Dominion House. Okay, and you just experienced Love by Design, which is one of our many programs. However, there's one more thing that we do not play about. Okay, and that's the spiritual growth journey. We have the spiritual growth journey, as you just saw in the video that was played by the technical team, and it's coming up tomorrow. Now, you see that my countenance has changed. This is not business as usual. This is spiritual growth we're talking about. Yes, love is important, but there's something else that is even far more important. We've talked about pastors, talked about mentors, talked about the right community. This is my advice to you. Get trained. Get trained. Training doesn't fall from the sky, and you cannot just find a mentor out of anywhere. It's important that you get into the right community. And now, for a community like the Dominion House, you get the full package. You get a pastor, you get a community, you get the right relationships. And if you're here and you desire spiritual growth, or you don't even know what spiritual growth is, you are the person that we're looking for. You are our target audience. You don't know what spiritual growth is. You've never heard of spiritual growth before. You're not even sure if you're saved. And if you don't even know what it means to be saved, you don't know if you're going to heaven. You don't know who God is. You have questions. Many young people have questions. You have questions that need answers, and you're just not sure where to turn to. We're inviting you for the 1 week spiritual growth journey starting tomorrow. All right, it's going to be hybrid. What do I mean by hybrid? We have some sessions online and we have some sessions physically. Now, tomorrow we're going to have something called the meet and greet. That's going to be online. On Monday, we'll have the orientation session where you get to find out all about the spiritual growth journey, also online. On Tuesday, we'll have the infilling session for those who cannot speak in tongues. Now, you're here, you cannot speak in tongues, and that is the highlight for you. Please do not miss out on the infilling session. On Wednesday, we would have our first session online as well. However, on Thursday, we would have our first physical session, the Night of Encounters, where we'll be talking about topics that people struggle with. On Friday, it would also be online, but Saturday, we're going to be having something mind-blowing, and that's called a prayer-thon. Now, what is a prayer-thon? Prayer and marathon. Simply put, long hours of prayers, right? We're going to be having that as our second physical meeting. To crown it all up, on Sunday morning by 10 a.m., we're going to be having our service, right? Our celebration service to celebrate all who have gone through the spiritual growth journey and have been transformed. Know this. There's going to be awards for people who do well, people that are transformed, people that are outstanding, right? So come on board. Come on board. What's stopping you? Even if you have doubts, my question to you is, what's the worst thing that could happen to you if you go through the spiritual growth journey? And so that's my final words to you. I had a great time today, and I hope you did. In fact, I'm sure you did. All right, so stay tuned for more programs like this. Invite your friends, invite your family, invite your enemies too, all right? And it's so good to have you all here with us. And to everyone who stayed on set with us, thank you so much for staying on set with us. We love you all. We love you all, our online audience. Have a great day. Bye.
Thank you.